Welcome back to another episode of Comm Chatter, the solid steel and sex appeal podcast. If you watched the previous episodes, on episode 1, I brought on a fellow soldier, Ian Jones, and then episode 2, I reached out to leadership, and I was able to get the company first sergeant on. Today, I've got yet another member of our leadership, and this individual is someone that I highly respect and definitely look up to. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Solid steel and sex appeal, baby. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I've been looking forward to this.
Actually, so have I. So have I.
You in a comfortable position, or you need to get set up still?
Yeah, I need my ashtray and my Kool-Aid. Yeah, it's Kool-Aid, all right. All right. So now I'm all set up. I'm in a comfortable position.
All right.
And I'm ready whenever you are, brother.
All right. You watched the other one with First Sergeant and Jones, or one or the other?
Yeah, I did watch the one with Brian with First Sergeant and the one with Ian.
Okay. So I just, like I said before, I just want to have a conversation. I'm not the best interviewer that there is. I'm not even the best podcaster. So just if you got stories, just go ahead, and if I think of something to ask, I'll ask you. But basically, I just want you to reminisce about Italy and the deployment and whatever you want to talk about, really. First thing, you can introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good place to start. My name is Michael Loetz, Sergeant First Class, retired. I was originally Fusion 37. I was one of the maintenance guys, and when I first got to Italy, as First Sergeant was preparing to go, I believe, to his second trip to Germany to get ready for deployment. I had just came on board, and he had made me a platoon sergeant. And when we were in Germany, y'all had a lieutenant that wasn't doing the right thing.
Yeah, we talked about that on the phone the other day. I think his name was Jones. I'm not 100% sure, but I think his name was Jones.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
When I took over second platoon, I don't know if you remember that night or not, I kicked everybody out the barracks. Smoked you in the field. Smoked everybody. Smoked them in the field, then made them a couple days later, made all the NCOs take you out and do night vision training, because I got told none of y'all knew how to use your nods. That came from Double D, Triple D.
He's had a mention on every one of these so far.
He was a handful.
A little bit. There's a video. I don't know if it was like a news channel or what it was for, but you were giving one of your infamous speeches to motivate us before the convoy. You remember that, what I'm talking about?
I do.
Do you have any idea where I can find that video? Because I've searched and searched and I cannot find it.
That video, if you hell, I might be able to send a link to you after we get off the phone. But I know for a fact that the last time I seen that video, I seen it on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was recorded when we first hit ground, and I believe it said something along the lines that if the enemy throws a bullet at you, you throw one back, so our brothers down the road tomorrow don't have to come in contact with that same bullet.
Yep.
We both know how quiet I can be, so I wasn't that quiet in the video. Yelling pretty loud, I think, which I had a good habit of doing. Usually if I was in the area, everybody knew I was in the area. So
yeah, I think it worked pretty well.
Yeah. I think it was I think it was Lieutenant DeMarco that told me one time. He goes, "You don't need a megaphone and you don't need a speaker." He goes, "We can hear you at the back of the convoy." I'm like, "Well, listen up good then." So yeah, always was loud. But we pulled together in Germany when we did the training. First Sergeant and the commander, I don't think at first they really knew what to make of me. But they always had my back. We never had confrontation. We never had any questions about what it was to do. Although I got in trouble in Germany. You remember Danley?
Oh, I have shit from memory, to be honest. So I might talk about him and I might remember. But
Danley wandered off from the convoy when we got stopped by the OCs and went to take a piss, and nobody knew where he was. When he came back, I took the radio that he was using to talk on the radio with. I took it from him and beat him in the breastplate of his jacket so hard I think I broke the radio and the damn breastplate.
At one of the Grafenweers, I was at the ammo point the entire time, so I'm not sure if it was the first one or the second one, but I missed a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the second one that you weren't there for most of it. So, yeah, but Cortese, I miss Michael a lot. I miss Cortese a lot. But and he was originally supposed to be my driver. Did you know that?
Tessie was?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, he was originally supposed to be my driver. But in
Germany, I volunteered for it once and you weren't having it for some reason.
Well, no, I'd already set my team by then. But
Gotcha.
Cortese hit a parked truck.
He had a what?
He hit a parked truck with the Humvee.
Oh, shit.
I looked at friend and study. I said, "How the fuck are you going to give me a guy that hits a parked truck?" And not a small truck either. A tractor-trailer truck. He hits the trailer.
You were his TC at the time when that happened, or?
Well, I was trying to find a driver at the time.
Okay.
And originally it was going to be him, but then after that happened, I got Muma, and then after I had Muma, I got Vega.
Right.
Vega and Bobo became my team. I think it was Muma was the one that almost flipped me off the damn cliff.
Oh, shit.
Coming down from the Cornwall. I don't know if the tire blew or what exactly happened, but we had over half the truck hanging off that cliff and nothing but rock face on the other side. I tied a damn. You don't think when you're in combat sometimes, and just because you're a leader, don't make you the smartest cookie in the darn jar. But ask Captain Thing one time, or First Sergeant if you talk to him again. Ask him about me tying a ratchet strap to my behind so that I could get in and pull out the radio equipment and see it all out. I think that was before First Sergeant had gotten us the equipment to descend the hills.
Yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So now here's the moment of truth. Who ratted me out for the monkey?
No clue. Honestly, have no clue. I didn't even know that it was you that got the monkey. I thought it was Lopez.
No, it was me.
Oh.
The guys were bored, and the trips were getting harder. They were exhausted. They didn't have anything to take their minds off of it. And this kid comes up and wants $5 for whatever kind of monkey it was. So I bought the damn thing. And everybody loved it for a couple of days till I got ratted out and I got told I had to go turn it into the medics at the clinic so they could get rid of it through that.
Yeah, I had no clue that you were the one that bought it. Every time I saw it, Lopez had it, so I just assumed that it was his.
No, most of the time, between Lopez, Patty Young,
oh yeah, Patty Young had it a lot too.
And Vega, they loved that little animal.
Yeah,
they did. They really did love that little fella. So yeah, that was good. But no, it was definitely a earth-shattering experience for me. That was not my first deployment. I had been to Iraq before. I had only been reset 6 months when I got back from Iraq for a 15-month tour, and then the next thing you knew, 6 months later, I took over you guys' platoon. And I think it was the 1st May that we were there. I believe it was the 30th. That was the night that our convoy went to crap. We got hit by IEDs and RPGs, and I don't know who was, I can't remember who was in the turret. I don't think it was Muma though. It was someone else was in the turret. When they spun around in the turret, they broke my antenna cable for my radio. And I'm trying to hold the cable in so that I can get contact with it was Lieutenant Rosario at the time, and have him forward information to Abel. And I finally got the jingle truck driver in the truck. I can't remember if it was Bobo or Vega that was laying suppressive fire from me. And I pushed the truck off the cliff. I told the guy in the truck, I said, if you promise to go up the hill with us, I'll make you get back down the hill. And yep, sure enough, we did. We got messed up coming down it. So, but no, I was so amazed at how strong and brave some of you guys were, and how efficient, and how sneaky.
As far as how brave and efficient, that's completely attributed to our leadership, at least in my opinion. We had to be brave because you guys were, and as far as our efficiency, we wouldn't have been as efficient if we wouldn't been trained by you guys. So that's completely attributed to you. Now the sneaky part, I don't know about that part.
I think you got some of that from your leadership too.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, you remember little things that make you really proud of what you've done and what you've been through. Sergeant Major Myers done something I'd never seen a Sergeant Major do before. And the next day after we were getting ready to leave Blessing, he came out to say bye to our convoy and tell me to be careful and give me some sensitive information that I needed to deliver. And he looked at Bonilla and he goes, "Where's your combat patch?" He goes, they haven't given us one yet. Sergeant Major took his combat patch off his uniform and put it on Bobo's jacket for him.
Wow. I'm gonna have Bonilla on this also. I've already been in talks with him, so I'm gonna have to have him tell that story because I bet that's a pretty big deal to him too.
Yeah, a lot of pride from a lot of different levels, a lot of different, you know, moving pieces. You know, it was rough at first, but we got into the hang of it, and then I think I got to where I never wanted to go out on the 30th of the month again. It's like 3 months in a row we were out on the 30th and we got hit pretty hard all 3 times. And then, man, Sergeant First Class Zickret, Mark, he was a rock star when it came to keeping those trucks up and online for us. He put a record crew with us, with some of the best guys we could have ever asked for to be on a record team with us. And God was on our side, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and then I was nervous how Proud was going to do when we got Proud into the platoon. Another rock star that I just couldn't believe. You know,
Proud's awesome.
Yeah, they say women don't do combat. Yeah, I got a few select phrases that your crowd might not want to hear me say when I say about that. But you got people that can either pull their weight or people that can't. And I was blessed to have the largest group of soldiers that could pull their weight I had ever seen. You know, and the ones that couldn't pull their weight, we had a handful of rock stars that would make up for that would pull it for them.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was a brotherhood. We knew it was a team.
Right.
And Sergeant Clark, Sergeant Friend, Sergeant Sturdy, Bright Davies, Damon Bellinger, all of them exceptionally fine NCOs. You remember the formation I had before we deployed with all the wives? Were you there for that?
Briefly, yeah, I think so. I briefly, once you start talking about it, I'll probably remember.
I made all the guys bring their wives to formation. And hindsight being 2020, I kind of probably shouldn't have done this, but I did. I told them, I said, I have one sole purpose in life, and that's to bring these men back alive. And I can't bring them back alive. I can't do my job if their head's not in the game. I said, we're taking a lot of their time now, but we need them trained before we go. I don't think some of them like that too much. I actually think the first sergeant commander caught hell for that. I was always getting them in trouble. Always. It seemed like I was always getting them in trouble.
For good reason, though.
Yeah. We went to we got to Fenty, got set up at Fenty, got to where we were on our feet. I was walking through the tents, checking on everybody, making sure that everybody was okay. And I realized how hot some of those tents were. And I was talking to First Sergeant who got me in touch with Adams, and Sergeant Adams, he basically moved heaven and earth to get me the fans and the air conditioners we needed to get them running. And then Sergeant Zickret did a great job of making sure that we got the refrigerant to get, to fix them ourselves, because we couldn't wait for someone else to fix them. It was too hot for you guys to have to live like that and then try to get your ass on the road and spend 17, 18 hours on the road. It was just too much. But those men did a wonderful service to us and taking care of us. And we were lucky because there was a system of layers. First, someone's got to get past me. And if they get past me, they got to get past either Rosario or Van Leer. And that's not likely to happen. And if they lock horns with the first sergeant, there's going to be a little bit of a misunderstanding. But it stopped with Captain Thing.
Yeah.
John Thing, wonderful man, excellent leader, did not take any crap. Always had a sense of humor, always had a reason to make you laugh. But when it came to my job wasn't to coddle you or hold you. My job was to train you and lead you.
Right.
How am I going to lead you if I'm not in front of you? It's me leading you, not you leading me. So I think I made that clear from day one. I hope I did anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. and like I already said, you did a good job of it. So I'm not blowing, like I told first part, I'm not blowing smoke up y'all's asses. I'm being serious. Like that company, that deployment, it wouldn't have been successful if it wasn't for the leadership. So I would follow you guys back right now if you said, "Come on, Webb, we got to get Webb Schwitz, we got to go on a plane.
Yeah.
Let's go." They're ready to go. So
I don't think there would be too many guys that would not go back.
Exactly. You're 100% true.
I know. I personally would go back in a heartbeat. It would be nothing for me to go back. But you know what? The soldiers can either make things easy or hard. And you guys made it so easy. You made it so easy because, I would talk to a few that would not want to be stationed at a certain place, or were having difficult times being at a certain place or another. And I would have to talk to them differently. But, let's be honest. No one wanted to be at Hanukkah or Miracle, or nobody wanted to be at Able, Maine, and nobody wanted to be at in the Corn Gall, and I had the very difficult decision between Sergeant Friend and the commander and Sergeant Clark, choosing where to put people who they thought would be most effective doing the job. And it worked out really well. Plus, we did a few things that helped us out when it came to dealing with the infantry units. So I knew that they took care of the guys. I heard a rumor that two Connexes full of mattresses might have accidentally disappeared from Bob Fenty. And somehow they appeared at all the forward operating bases along the way, where you guys sleeping on the ground and on cots, and well, they did that.
Fucking awesome.
It's just a rumor, though. It was just a rumor. Yeah. And I heard you talking to First Sergeant about your secret stash of ammo in your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yours wasn't the only one, brother.
Okay.
I had that non-lethal shotgun was in my vehicle until the day I caught the kids stealing mail. The kids were fast. They jump off the cliff into the back of the mail truck, start slinging mail out the side of the truck, and then go pick it up and haul butt. And when I caught him one day, I told him, get out the truck. He got out the truck. He went to haul ass with some mail. I shot him in the little ass with the bean bags. They never got any more mail out after that. But I think the commander of the First Sergeant, one of the two, they took the they took the shotgun from me too.
Okay. I was the mailman. How did I not know about that story?
No, that happened on the Congrall Road that was going up to the cop. So, and we had the jingle truck drivers drive that mail up. We just, escorted it up and let them download it.
Yeah.
And mail and fuel. That's what they always needed. And yes, I got separated from a rather large convoy I took up there one day, and I went out on the fob when I went out the gate of the fob on one of the guys' AT4s, and it ran out of gas. So by the time the jingle trucks caught up with me, there was a group of guys walking down the street, and they rolled that AT4 down the cliff. And me and First Sergeant are descending down the cliff to try to hook this joker up to a wrecker to bring it back up. Mortar rounds. And I really believe the commander of Battle Company had more reasons to want to kill me than any other person in the country. I made life very difficult for him at times, I believe. But with that being said, he was a very good man. And the First Sergeant there, First Sergeant Caldwell, was very nice man as well. It's just the way things ran, you know. Now, how many times did you actually you didn't even actually go to the Cornwall outpost with us, did you?
The closest that I ever got was when the what was that? What is it called? The tank-like vehicle that we had at the very beginning of the deployment rolled down. What is that vehicle called?
Oh, the Fox?
Maybe. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
It used to be the lead vehicle, and it rolled down the hill. I think that was very, very early on in the deployment. But I was at the fob that's between that we would stop there, and then you would part off and go to the cop.
Yeah.
I was there, and that happened. So they asked for volunteers to hike up the mountain and go pull security. And I immediately raised my fucking hand because at that point I still hadn't seen contact, and for whatever reason I wanted to. So I hiked up the mountain and got to pull security. But that's the closest I ever actually got to the cop. I never got to actually go. So.
Okay. Yeah.
It might have been the jingle truck that went down. I feel like it was one of the two, either the jingle truck that rolled down or it was that. But I'm pretty sure it was that because that was the beginning of the deployment, and the other unit was still in the vehicle.
Yeah, I think Lopez was. I think First Sergeant. I don't know if I don't think I was on that mission, but okay. I was running a different mission at the time, and I think First Sergeant ran that mission, and I want to say that Lopez was the one driving that vehicle.
I think so.
And I still talk to him. He's a very good man as well. Just a bunch of great people. I think Wes Fortney, the guy that got the combat action badge the first day I took him out to a base, and he lives about 2 hours north of me. Layton is 2 hours east of me. You're not far from the Muppet.
Right.
And
Puppet.
Yeah. And I want to say Aaron Muma. I used to call him just Moo. I think Muma is in DC now.
That's I believe so. Him and Bright Davies.
Yeah, and then I know Dave Nims is in California. I know Mark's out west somewhere. Yeah, I remember a lot. We used to leave that little sub base at Abel's and then have to cross the river and hit the switchback to cross the river again to get up to the Cornwall outpost. And yeah, that was always fun. But yeah, we really did. We made the impossible possible. I don't think a lot of people had realized that. I remember when we were supposed to move into Fortress, I didn't want to go to it. I wanted to stay at Fenty. But that never went through anyway, so thank goodness we didn't ever have to leave to go up there.
Fortress was the one that we stopped at first when we went out, right? Okay.
Right.
So what's the one right before the cop? I've been trying to think. Was that California or Florida or something? Was that what they called that one?
Yeah, it might have been. I think it was Florida, but yeah, the first day I took over battle space from the 10th Mountain guys that were there before us. The first day I took over battle space from them, that was the night that we got messed up going up the hill and coming down the hill. But there, that little outpost was run by a platoon of Able, I want to say, and they were the ones that gave me supporting fire and called for fire from where we were getting hit by the RPGs and taking incoming rounds from. And unfortunately, on the way going up that hill is when you remember Mark Hodge?
Yep. He's not far from me either.
Yeah, he got that burn on his neck, and that's when we knew there was something wrong because he wouldn't heal right. So we sent him to get checked out, and come to find out he was a lot sicker than we thought.
Yep.
So it was. I'm glad that Captain Thing and First Sergeant had the foresight to see that it was more serious than something we could have dealt with downrange, because I do think that we got the cancer. He got a hold of the cancer quicker than if he would have stayed downrange. So yeah. I don't remember anybody else having to leave us though.
Nope.
No. We were solid steel and sex appeal, and if they didn't like it, they could kiss my motherfucking ass. I didn't give a shit. Laugh. I used to tell the guys in the trucks, you may have heard me say it or not, whatever stays in that truck, whatever happens in that truck needs to stay in that truck.
Yeah.
If you get into contact or something, it's got to stay in the vehicle. And I won't tell you who they did it to, but we got a new soldier in one time, and that new soldier, the driver in the TC, convinced him the gunner couldn't take his hands off the gun, and he had to hold the Gatorade bottle for him to pee in.
Oh shit.
And I heard that, and I laughed so hard, and I said, please tell me that is not true. And it was true.
Oh wow.
I won't tell you who it was, but that was true. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Tell me offline so I can reach out to them and have them tell the story.
No, if that comes up again, you'll know who. When you're talking to some of the other guys, they might tell you, but I won't ever tell you.
Okay.
I won't ever tell you. I promised that confidence a long time ago, and I won't give up on that.
Fair enough.
But I think the thing that amazed me the most is just for all the contact we've seen, for all the stuff that we went through, emotionally and physically, the country we were in was really a beautiful country. I mean, you get up in the morning at Camp Blessing and you look out into that valley as the sun's coming up, and you can't deny that's one of the most beautiful sunrises you'll ever see in your lifetime.
Yep.
Just had some really bad people in the area. And I think I learned my lesson the first time about making sure I stopped at the halfway point to get y'all on a base to use the bathroom. I think the first time I pulled off the side of the road so some guys could go, use the bathroom real quick, I look up and down what is that smell? I look up and down the ditch. I've got pot plants 8 foot tall all the way down the side of the road in the ditch next to air. And I went on the radio. I thought, no, not one damn piece of it ought to be found on anybody when I get back, or we'll start doing urinalysis. So, yeah. Bad decisions, bad decisions.
So you bring up the pot plant. So I have to ask, one thing you said a lot to us, if you remember, was after you get back, once you're out of the Army, you're gonna, I can't remember the words verbatim, but you're going to be sitting on your porch with a joint in hand,
with one of these in one hand,
jack in the other, yeah.
And something else in the other hand, and it ain't going to be a cigarette. Yes,
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yes, I do partake on occasion in.
So you fulfilled your dream. That's all I wanted to know. Did you?
Yep.
Did
you? I sure did. When I've only done it a couple times. That they make it so strong now. But what I did was this. I discovered was by the time I did my third deployment, I had hurt my back pretty bad, and I was hurt when I came back from Afghanistan. I weighed 148 pounds and I was wearing 90 pounds worth of gear on my back all day, sitting in that truck for all those hours going up and down the road. I came back, we did the reset, we did the recycle, and when I get back, and lo and behold, I leave with the 3rd BSB out of Fort Stewart, worst unit I've ever been to. Well, it'll never compare to 173rd, I should say. I shouldn't say it's the worst unit I've ever been to, but very not happy with them. They wanted to stick me behind a desk, and I've never been a desk soldier. But anyway, I deployed with them. We went down range. I hurt my back again. Come to find out it was broken. And I only did 10 months of that 15-month tour with them. And they eventually medically retired me out of the military. So at 25 years, I was forced to medically retire. My back was shot, my knees were shot, and they had me taking enough drugs to get half our company high. So when I got out the military, I went into rehab. I got myself back together, and I continued on with my life. Now I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I'm very safe with what I do. I don't do drugs or anything like that. So I quit all the narcotics and everything. I just take my normal medicine that I'm supposed to take for PTSD. And I had to reach out for help when I got back, because that was a hard challenge for me, I'm going to have to switch out on you, Webb. I'm going to go in the bedroom because my stepfather and other half just got home. Okay. So you had to watch me walk into the bedroom. Here we go. Not into the bedroom, my office, actually. Yeah, I got back to the military. I was getting myself got out of the military, getting myself straightened out. I called, and this is how you know you've got good leaders all around you. I called Brian one day. I sent him a private message on Facebook, telling him that I was struggling, I was having trouble. He got me in touch with Captain O'Leary, which was our psych doc, and got me set up with a program and a treatment program so that I could get the help I needed to go ahead and, put my life back together, basically. Which I worry that not enough of the guys have taken the time to actually do that. I talked to 2 soldiers within the last month that were in our unit that I've helped them get inpatient care in the areas with which they live, and told them, don't ever fear that. Don't ever be ashamed of that. We all need help once in a while. And what we went through was not easy for any of us. Right. So that was just my take on it, though.
That's part of the reason I'm wanting to do this podcast. I mean, obviously I want to make my channel grow and whatnot, but I also want to just be able to reach out to the soldiers from our unit maybe even eventually soldiers from other units and whatnot, and get the awareness out so people can seek help when they need it and whatnot.
My PTSD was getting pretty bad, and then I had to see a neurologist when I came back. I have brain injuries from getting blown up too many times. You ever done something so crazy you can look back on it and laugh, but when it happened, you were trying not to shit your pants?
Yeah.
We were at the Corn Girl outpost, and Lieutenant Van Leer Adam had not been with us very long. And I was rushing soldiers into the bunkers because we started taking incoming mortar rounds. And the one bunker we knew was already full. There was too many people in it. So we were trying to make it over to the other bunker at the combat outpost. And when we were running by the mess tent, there's a big rock there. Mortar round went right into the mess tent, sent shrapnel everywhere. And it went into a little piece of it went to the back of Lieutenant Van Leer's arm. And I told him, I said, get yourself together, go see the medic, make sure you don't have anything else injured anywhere. I said, but wipe your face off before you go. And he did. But we all dealt with things differently. Boy, God had his arms around us that day, because the tent was literally right next to us when that mortar round blew up. Yeah. If you talk to Adam, ask him about that. We would drive up and down the roads. There was an Afghan national. This guy, we always thought looked like Sergeant Friend. He literally looked just like Sergeant Friend, red hair and all.
Really?
Yeah. As a leader, I was very lucky. I had two very good lieutenants. I had the most competent and outstanding first sergeant commander that I could have ever asked for. I had some of the best soldiers that were in the world to this day. That were young men and women that were raised the right way to do the right thing, that came up the right way in the military. And if I had to put them all back together as a team again, somebody better look the hell out. I mean, how many times have you seen a 50 cal on the back of a record, on the top of a record? Yeah, that's where you stole my phrase from too, Joker. I stole booking. I stole trucking for Jesus from Sergeant Clark. I think it was Sergeant Clark that I stole it from. And
sounds about right.
We had so much ammunition and weapons on our vehicles that we were nothing but solid steel and sex appeal. Didn't matter if you was as big as Alan, which was a toothpick, or if you was as big as Cookie. Yeah, wasn't a good idea to mess with this too much.
So where did that come from? Where did you get? So, yes, I stole it from you, but it's perfect. So
I had a platoon sergeant that was in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, that used to say it, and I stole it from him. All and right. I told him that will get passed on through the military, because no one is going to forget it once you say it.
Nope.
And when I was an instructor at the NCO Academy, I taught combatives before I got to you guys. I was always full of energy. I was always hyped up, and they all thought I was crazy. So I don't know, I haven't seen it, but according to some of the people I talked to, if you go to the NCO Academy now, there's a wall of honor. I guess they put my picture on that wall.
Hell yeah.
You know, for some reason, not too many maintenance guys get a Bronze Star for Valor in combat. So yeah.
You bring that up. That I do have a question for you. How do you? How did it make you? Or like, what were your thoughts? How did you feel? Like being a mechanic, basically, and then being put in charge of distro. Did you have any worries, or just how did you feel about that? Do you remember?
The deal was this: we had 4E7s in the company. Tim Pearson had to be with First Platoon because he was a food NCO. Me, Mark Zickrich, or Dave Nims were going to run maintenance. That's all there was to it. But we didn't have a solid transportation NCO with any experience behind him to put in there. So when I took over that platoon from Dave Nims, and that other character that was in there, Lieutenant Rosario came with me. And Lieutenant Rosario and I sat down and talked one day, and we came up to one very simple solution. There's only one way to do it, and it's the right way. Let's do what we know how to do. And we highly depended on Sergeant Friend, Sergeant Clark, all of the NCOs that were in that platoon to teach us as much as they could without us getting in their way of doing what they needed to do.
Gotcha.
So, but no, I didn't mind at all. I took a picture of you guys before we left, and I took a picture of them when we came back. I showed it to First Sergeant, and I said, "Look how much they aged." He goes, "Damn shit, look at you. Look how much you aged." It wasn't easy, but you could see it in some of their faces, but they were still clowns, you know. Look at some of the old pictures. We tried to take pictures in front of the talk at Fenty. We go to take pictures in front of the talk at Fenty. I get the pictures back. You got First Sergeant with a black hat on, looking out one door, giving us a stupid look, and Cap Thing looking out the other door behind the formation, give us an even stupider look. I'm like, what the hell? I said, okay, I'll wait until I go up to Camp Bliss and take a serious picture with all the guys. You remember Meekum?
Yeah.
He had the most jacked up look on his face, and that picture, I just wanted to, you know what the heck, we ain't getting no more pictures.
Actually, I've got a picture. Two pictures I want to share with you. I was going to bring it up on here, but I can't figure out how to do it. I'll have to show them to you after we're done here, because one is a picture of you, and it's on my Facebook. But you're like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're pointing, and it looks like you're pissed off. But I've just always liked that picture. And then there's another one after we returned from the deployment. The NCOs, I think you guys all organized a thing over at that Italian restaurant across from the base.
Yeah.
And I got a picture of all of the NCOs together, and it's on my Facebook. So
okay,
I've got a couple of good pictures.
Yeah. I have quite a few pictures, and I got quite a few hard drives of pictures. I've come across some videos which I wish I'd never seen. I'm just going to say the word cup to you, and you can figure it out from there.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been that sick in my life. Anyway, you know, but I mean, I've got simple pictures of everything from the guys sleeping in the planes to people getting mad at me for the way we loaded the aircraft, the civilian aircraft. Flight attendant came up to me and she goes, "How did you get them on here that fast?" I said, "That's my job." I said, "I got this." But how did I, if you go back to the original question, how did I feel? I was honored to have a position of leadership in that great company. And I was honored to get such a great group of people to work with. So I was very proud of that. I'm still very proud of that. I did not know the impact it would have on me at the end. But I knew from the first day our boots hit ground that we were going to be part of something special that no one will ever be able to touch. And I'll send you a couple pictures too. I got a picture of Chief Rodriguez with the iguana, a lizard. I don't know what the hell the damn thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go through and look at the barracks while y'all were off at chow or whatever, and very seldom did I have to say anything to y'all. I could just tell friend Clark or one of your NCOs, and they took care of it. Their tents aren't clean, it smells like ass. Make them go wash themselves. You know. You know, why are the vehicles not cleaned out? You know, if they can't see through the windows, what's wrong with this picture? You know, they can't see out the window. How do they go see the enemy? Just little things like that I never figured out. I figured, you know what? Great NCOs, let them do their job. Back away. And then, as you're well aware, I got so much overwhelming thunderous applause when I told y'all we were going to start doing PT about 2 months before we got ready to come back. I got to remember who it was. It was I can't remember if it was Cortese or Jones. That looks can say a million words, but I don't know what they were saying. But I know there was a lot of cussing involved, and somewhere in the back of their mind, they wanted to choke life out of me. So thankfully, they never took up that opportunity, and I was able to live to make it back. But yeah, it was not just preparing you to go down there; it was also trying to prepare you to come home. Yeah, that was important to me. Very important to me. I never had any respect for the commander that replaced Captain Thing. You know, once you put someone up high on such a high level of your respect, your respect, your esteem, your gratitude for all that they've done, all that they've accomplished, that they've accomplished, and all that they've let their soldiers accomplish through good leadership, it's hard to look at another commander the same way. But I went in and I used to go check the barracks on the weekends to make sure everybody was okay when we got back, to make sure that they weren't overdoing it with the drinking or anything like that. And I found one of Tim Pearson's soldiers handcuffed to a radiator in the motor pool bay because he was having trouble making it to first formation. And I lost my mind. I lost my mind to the point to where I called the Inspector General. And I believe after that, what was it, Jimenez or whatever his name was, and
Yep.
the other first sergeant you had. Now I believe both of them got relieved of command for that, but it was a young specialist. He was a cook that they had handcuffed because he was having trouble getting in there on time. You know, I don't believe in hazing. I don't believe in hurting a soldier. I don't believe in treating a soldier wrong. And I believe if you can't talk to a soldier, then the problem is much yours as it is to soldiers. You know, I didn't ask anybody to do anything I wasn't doing. And I tried to be a good example for you guys. But there is no way I would have treated one of you guys like that. Yeah. And I damn sure know that John or Brian, first sergeant or the commander, would have never allowed something like that to happen to one of you guys.
Right.
That way things rolled.
I remember when we were told that Captain Thing, I think he just gotten Major Thing at that time, maybe shortly after, but we were told that we were going to get a different commander, and we were still deployed because I ended up being the new commander's driver for the very end of the deployment. But at least for myself and a few of the guys that I talked to, we were a little worried because we made it that far. We had this great commander and leadership and everything, and then it was about to be like switched at the end of the deployment. So we were fortunate that nothing bad happened while we're in Afghanistan, but when we got back to garrison, it definitely changed tides, so to speak.
Well, I think what it was is this. Captain Thing, it was time for him to move on to do something that he needed to do for his career and to build his life, and that's absolutely understandable and admirable. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we knew that the orders that we were going to follow were the orders that Captain Thing gave us. We knew that we would support this new commander as much as we could, but at the same time, Captain Thing will forever be the only commander I had in Fusion Company.
100. Yep.
So, and I don't say that as any disrespect to Captain Jimenez or anybody else that was in the chain of command, but I was there at the beginning, I was there at the end, and I knew how things were going to go. Were you driving the truck when what was it, Captain Jimenez Z'd out the radio?
Yes.
Remember how that went over? Not very well, was it?
No.
And there were private conversations that y'all will never hear about, but yeah, there was quite a few private conversations that were had. When we went to go to the left seat, right seat ride, when we got ready to leave, we had this first sergeant thought that he was going to buck up to Lieutenant Van Leer. I said, no, sir, I don't think so. I don't think so. And Adam became my closest friend. I had such a tremendous amount of respect for him. Him and Miguel Rosario. And to this day, I have a tremendous amount of respect for both of them, not just as soldiers, but as men, as people, as leaders, as family persons. And, you know, it took me quite a few years. I've been out of the military since 2012. It took me quite a few years to get in and out of counseling for the pain pills that I was on and the antidepressants and the back medication and everything else. And then to treat my brain injuries, to treat my back problems, to get me a service dog, which I have a service dog now. Her name is Lucy. You know, still go to counseling. There's no shame in my game. You know what? If I'm going to lead somebody, I have to lead them from the front. And the only way I can lead you from the front is that I am not ashamed to go to counseling, and I'm not ashamed to get help. And if anybody needs help or they need help getting to counseling, feel free to call me, contact me. Let me know that you need the help. If there's anything humanly possible I can do to try to help you, I darn sure will do it. And that to me is follow through to the end, because we weren't brothers for 15 months. We're not brothers and sisters for 15 months. We're now brothers and sisters for a lifetime. And that you can take to the bank.
Yep.
Dante Hawthorne, some of the other gentlemen, Sergeant Clark, just some of the gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, especially some of the gentlemen in that company, all I got to do is look at them and I can smile. I didn't have a lot of respect for the BSB when they got locked down and we went to go fire support for them. I called some of their leaders aside and I put them on blast. I said, you got a group of soldiers out here that's been in the middle of combat. Not one of them have the right name tag on their uniforms, and not one of them is wearing a set of ID tags. Now you might be able to guess what else I said to them, but it's not something that bears repeating on this. But the bottom line is that, a lot of people deal with things differently. And if anyone ever needs help, I hope I can be there to help. So how much more you want out of me, young man?
If you want to call it a day, we can call it a day. I could sit here and listen to you tell stories all day.
Well, let's call that enough. Okay. I'm having an addition put on my house. They're about to come up and start the work over again. Oh, we've been on here for an hour, haven't we?
Yep. Just over an hour. Yep.
Okay. Well, hey, take care of yourself. I'll try to send you some pictures via Facebook. Some of the other pictures I have, maybe you'll find a way to incorporate them together and you can mix them up and send them on the thing. Some of them go from before we deploy to after the deployment to coming back. But if you'd like to take a look, see, I'll try to send them to you. I'll zip them in a file and send them on over to you. Okay.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Take care, brother. And remember, solid steel and sex appeal is always sexy.
Thank you, Sergeant Loetz.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Bye.
Bye.
Another one in the books. That was Sergeant First Class Michael Loetz. He was our platoon sergeant in Fusion Company. Yeah, it was a pleasure talking with him, and I'm glad to see that he's doing good. He said a few times, if I need to reach out to him, definitely can. That's absolutely true. Reach out to him, reach out to me, please. Find me on Facebook, find somebody that knows me, get my phone number. You can always call, text me any time of day, any time of night. If we served together, even if we didn't, but definitely if we served together, I'll be there for you if you need to talk or whatever you need. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Colonel Oslin got a hold of my number and he texted me and said that he likes the podcast. So it's a very big compliment. But he also touched on the importance of PTSD awareness and soldiers being able to seek help and talk to each other or talk to somebody. So absolutely, I'm gonna try to keep that a common thread, keep bringing that up, because like I said, I wanted to do this podcast for several reasons. One of them being just so we can talk to each other and know that there are people out there that still care for each other, for us. Because I care about and care for every single man and woman that I deployed with. And like I said, that's part of the reason I wanted to do this, just to be able to have a conversation with them. I mean, put it on my YouTube channel and let others see it. And it seems to be taking off pretty well. So yeah, I'm going to end it on that note. That was a great conversation with Sergeant Loetz, and same thing I've said many times so far is I would go back to war with that man. No questions asked. Good group of dudes, from good gals and dudes. I'm gonna have to get Proud on here. Definitely. I've reached out to her, so hopefully I can get with Proud soon and talk to her too. But yeah, that's all I've got for this episode of Solid Steel and Sex Appeal. See you next time.